Hey, everyone, it's Isaiah. Welcome. So I'm live today for the second time, excluding the test that I did earlier on that did not work. And I'm coming live to have a conversation with Tammy tonight, or my night, or morning, I guess, from the Women Lighting the Way Summit 2023 edition. And so we're doing these conversations or these interviews or these whatever lives, just to get to know a little bit more about our speakers. The first thing I have to say, though, is if you do not have your free ticket for the summit, and you do not have yet a spot registered to listen to the 14 amazing stories of our 14 incredible speakers this year, I would highly invite you to go and get your ticket. You can Oh, hi, Chris. Chris is watching today. So you can click on the link that is above, below the video, or in the comments, or anywhere. If by any chance you could not find the link, please message me. I will send you a link. It's free. Not only do you get to listen to the stories and to get so freaking inspired, if I say so myself, because I'm the lucky person who got to watch all of the talks earlier. And I've been humbled this year. Really, it's been really, really life-changing for me, these talks. And it's year 3, so I should be accustomed that this is going to be impressive. But no, every year I get surprised even more. So just get in there. Plus, you get the chance to access freebies and to give away and have a magnificent offer to work with our speakers if you would so. What's keeping you? It's this weekend. There's 1 week of free replays, so no time zone shame or excuses. We're waiting for you, and you're going to have a blast. But for today, let's meet Tammy. So because it's very important to me and Chris Wallace, my bestie, who is a co-founder of this summit, that this summit is a global event, that we are not doing a US event or a European event or an Australian event. We are so excited that women from all over the world this year, I've counted now, we're just missing one continent. So anyone from Africa, please, who wants to come, please, I'd love to have. It's that we create the vast library of women's stories from all over, because there are so many men's stories running around and so little women's stories. So I'm really excited to have people from all over. Thus, my first question being, where are you from, Tammy?
I am from originally from Michigan, where I currently live in the United States, but I have lived in California and Florida as well. So.
Ooh, the sunny states, right? And then back to Michigan.
No, yeah, Michigan's probably not considered the sunny state.
No, I mean, you went from Michigan to the 2 sunnier states and then back to Michigan. So I'm guessing, yes. Did you miss the snow?
No, I like the seasons. I lived in Naples, yeah. And it was hot and hot and hot.
Yeah.
And California, I lived for a year. It was temporary due to military stuff for in the desert. So that was an experience in itself. But I came back to my home state, and you know, I get to see all the seasons, and
I can so relate with that. I've not been very much visiting or living for long periods of time into any tropical areas, but the little I did, I just hated it. I hated the fact that it's, you know, the sun goes down at the same time every day, and it's like, oh, come on, you know, how do I get to connect with the earth? For me, the seasons are really a way to connect with the energy of the earth and the moon, and it felt like such almost like a disconnect for me. Living there.
Well, at that time when I was living there, I didn't think of it that way, but people don't realize in that warm weather all the time, there are creatures that are always like, the insects and the snakes and the things that people don't realize are in there. And then you have the hurricane. So you're going to have a hurricane or a snowstorm. I don't know which is better. Snowstorms generally don't like wipe everything out completely.
Yeah. So would you consider yourself a seasoned person, like like all of them, or do you have a favorite nonetheless?
I'd say I like spring the best because everything's waking up, and it's nice, cool weather. So you have cooler nights and nice days that you can go out and not have to wear a coat. But I like to shovel the snow in the winter. It makes me feel connected, and it gives me a reason to go out into the cold and notice all the beautiful things that happen even when it is cold and gray.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. The spring energy for me is very maiden energy, like, this renewal of things. Yeah, I would indeed. I think I see you as a very springy person. Okay, and I know the answer, but our listeners don't. So, what is your favorite color?
That's my favorite.
I think
color.
I know the answer. I think I know the answer.
I thought about that because I watched some of the other interviews and I noticed you did ask people. And
no, I think I only asked what colors they did not like up until now. Yeah.
Somebody, I think it was Lois, say that favorite was lavender or purple.
Oh yeah, no, purple. Yeah, no, you're right. We discussed purple.
So I actually have like two. One that was my childhood, and then my brand colors, or the colors that I use for my business, are purples and blues and variations of that. But when I was a little kid, and I still love it, is lime green. And when I was a little kid, I was thinking in fourth grade, the teacher would give us these designs to color in when we got our work done faster than other kids in the class, I guess, so that we weren't too rambunctious in the classroom. And I always colored my bright yellow and like a lime green. All of mine were yellow and green.
Awesome.
And it's so I'd say I like both.
Yeah, that's interesting because you have it's almost at the other end of the spectrum.
But
you cover everything.
Actually, the green is the heart healing, which is work that I do. And then the solar plexus, I have this in like all the stuff that everybody points out for me who are intuitive. They're always like, it's yellow and it's your solar plexus. So that's a central place energy for me. So I see why I'm attracted. And then you got the blues and the purples come up into the higher frequencies. Yeah. So I'm just not a big orange and red person.
Although you are wearing a red t-shirt.
Actually, it's a pink, but the way that's being
the cameras are crazy. My glasses are pink, but there is one I think in Zoom they turn out orange. It's like, sorry, what?
They are pink for me, but yeah, this is more of like a darker pink, and it's coming across as red.
And going back to the weather theme, if I see right now, it's quite hot in Michigan because you're wearing.
It tank tops, yeah. It is warm here today. It's going to be in the 80s, and so. Okay. That's why I like spring. I kind of like it in perfect for me is 50s at night and 70s in the day.
Which means nothing for me because it's Fahrenheit. But never mind. Some people understand you.
Celsius, I'm like, I have to Google it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I'm sure it's clear enough for some of our listeners. Chris, if you're listening, please translate that for me and put it in the comments because it drives me cuckoo nuts. Oh, she's saying, Chris, that her daughter loves lime green because it's the color of the brand color of a K-pop group. So you might well have a very young soul. Are you a fan of K-pop? Do you even know what K-pop is?
I think they're an Asian pop group. Is that what it is?
No, K-pop is the Korean pop music.
Yeah.
So it's not one group. It's a huge group of huge amount of. But even my children are too old for that.
Okay. Well, I got the Asian part correct. They're Korean. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I know that.
And so, are you a music fan? Do you listen to music?
Yeah, I was
just kind of music
before. American pop, mostly from like the 80s. I love the 80s music. I like 70s music because I remember riding in the car. My parents always played that kind of music, and some 90s stuff, but anything starts to get beyond that, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I used to think that characterized me as old because I'm kind of similar, but no, in fact, even the young people they like the 80s music because there's a melody, and it's way easier to remember this.
I know. My friends and I like to go to during the summertime here. We have the parks. The city parks have concerts, and so we go to the concerts and we'll go and we'll watch the 80s and we're all singing along because we're from the 80s. I graduated in 88, and then you see these like young kids singing the words. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, they know more.
I hear absolutely. It's like, sorry, what? Cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation. What the hell are you playing here?
No, it's just really good music.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There is a radio in France called Nostalgia, which only plays 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, not even 90s music. And it's very, very popular. It was very, very popular among my students. And I used to teach middle school. So you can imagine,
that was just good music. Oh, there we go.
Degrees, yeah. So an explanation. So 50 to 70s would be 23. Yeah.
Celsius. So low. It's 10 to 20 degrees. That here would be, I'd be wearing a giant coat.
Yeah, no, 10 degrees is 10 degrees over the zero, and 0 in Celsius is when it freezes. So it's not hot, but it's not freezing cold.
Okay.
Still. What are you discussing with the speakers of Women Lighting the Way? Oh, Celsius versus Fahrenheit. Why not?
Important. Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely. Well, this is the thing with doing a global event. I had some of the times wrong with the time zones. So, it's challenging. The Fahrenheit, the miles.
Back in the 80s, we would have no clue we would be having conversations like this, right? I mean,
back in the 80s, we would never have met, you and me.
That's what I mean. Look what we're and we get to have discussions about temperatures and
yeah. But for me, it's really amazing. I found out during the pandemic that I could have friends all over the world, and that is so cool. I think, it's kind of this immense possibility of finding your tribe somewhere else than next door. And for me, it's changed my life. Even though I wasn't particularly lonely before that, but now it's like, yeah, why not have a conversation with someone from Michigan?
And it makes me think of back when I was a little kid. So that would have been in the 70s, early 80s, right? And one time in school, we got all these balloons together and we put little notes on them to send out and find pen pals. Our balloon land. And only a few kids ever got a letter back. I don't know where our balloons went to. But that was our communication. Like, let's see if we can reach someone on the other side of the world with this balloon.
Literally throwing bottles in the sea, kind of, Yeah. That's visually, that's very, very appealing. It's like, oh, that's how we intended to communicate.
Yeah.
To find friends.
Mine probably got swallowed by a fish or something. Poor fish. They shouldn't be balloons, but I never got a letter. So
yeah, I'm really sad for you.
No, it's okay because again, the communication now. I communicate with people in Australia and in England and UK and all the different Germany and all over the world. And it's like, as a kid, that would have been like blown my mind to think that one day I would have done that and just sat on a camera and talked to everybody.
Yeah, I remember having fun around the idea that someday we would have phones with videos.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, no, it's not going to happen.
No.
Never.
I also thought it was in 8th grade. I told people that we had those science magazines that would tell you about future, like flying cars, and the phone was going to be this big unit, not like our little phone. They're a big unit with a big camera on it. And I thought, I don't know if I want people to see me at any time during the day.
Exactly, exactly. I remember saying the exact same thing. If there is ever a phone with video, I will sure never turn it on, says she on video, broadcasting to the world at this minute.
Well, it took me a while to get on camera though, because we were using Skype, and I would have like clients back in 2013, and they'd be like, let's get on Skype. And I didn't even have a camera. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be on camera. That's okay. We can just act like we're on the phone and talk. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I think yeah, it's kind of a step we went into, whether we wanted it or not, basically. I think, and most of it for me was the pandemic. It was like,
okay.
oh fuck it, I want to see people. I don't care if I don't look nice or if I don't have earrings or no makeup, or this is it. I want to talk with my mom. My mom lives 3,000 miles away, kilometers away.
3,000 years.
Miles, yeah, kind of. In Greece, anyway. So yeah, and I thought, it is different to see the people that you love, rather versus talking to them on the phone. So at some point, I gave up the persona thing of being, and just like, yeah, we'll go live.
Well, now I think it's even weird when somebody does want to interact with me and they just give me a link
phone number.
I'm like, you mean we're not getting on camera? I feel a better connection talking with somebody. I'm like,
Yeah.
You mean you don't use Zoom? What's wrong with you? No, we must be.
Yeah, I agree. What's really funny. Yeah, being kind of the same generation as you, although I'm older, so I graduated in '84. I'm always floored and amazed in a good way by how much progress we've seen during our lifetime, and it's like, wow, this is amazing. That part of it makes me believe in the human race, that if we can do so much in so little time, we can also try and fix it now, try and fix the shit that we've done, because in the process we've kind of done a few things that might well be a good idea to undo. Last question, because we're already talking for 17 minutes.
Okay.
Is I see a feather in the back ground. Do you have it there for a reason? Does it mean something? If you want to share, right?
Oh, it's a peacock feather that I went to a cider mill one time, and I wanted to have a feather. I have a altar in my bedroom, and that's feathers represent air. So I wanted to have a feather, and they had peacocks on the farm, and so they were selling them for like 50 cents, and I was like, that's like no brainer, buy a few feathers, Dad. And so yeah, so it's just I think peacocks are beautiful birds. Of course, it comes off the male bird because the female's kind of plain and boring.
Yeah.
They gotta
it's like that for all birds.
Yeah.
Every bird that is beautiful is always the male being beautiful.
Assholes. Yeah, because they have, no, because they always want the female, but the female doesn't always want them, so they have to be attractive, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why the feathers.
I know. Yeah, that's normal, kind of. They have to make an effort.
Actually, I think it's slightly different. It always seems like women try to look.
Yeah, tough enough for women. It's kind of the country. The feather, the peacock feather, and the peacock as a whole is the attribute or the main animal of Greek goddess Hera, who is connected with the sixth chakra, which is purple. So that's why,
Well, I got much more in tune with my goddess energy and bringing that out, but that was already there. So it was all leading up to it. We start doing things before we realize we're doing
absolutely
them.
Absolutely
for other things.
Okay, well, thank you very, very much for having me. It was really fun talking to you.
Well, thank you.
Just a small recap for anyone who's not yet into this. If you do not have a ticket for the summit, go and get your free ticket to the Women Lighting the Way Summit. It's happening this weekend. We have 14 amazing speakers telling their stories or part of their stories. And these stories are inspiring, profound, funny, and altogether amazing, if I say so myself. You also get access to freebies, giveaways, and amazing offers should you want to work with our speakers, who all have amazing, incredible offers. Really, I'm floored this year. I'm really floored. And I'm so happy that we get to meet new people, because this is year 3, so we're expanding our range of speakers. And I'm so happy to have met you, Tammy. It was really great to see you in here. I'm so happy that you got to tell your story. It was, for me, it was one of the talks that really moved me, I have to say. So I'm going to say it. And
I loved it. You know, we met by whatever on Facebook because of technology, and look where we
yeah,
are. So, yeah, thank you for inviting me to be.
I'm really happy for that. And yeah, get your ticket, come and listen to all the speakers. Tammy, thank you very much. And I will see you in the live panels, because we also have 2 live panels with our speakers, one on Saturday and one on Sunday at 2 p.m. UK, both of them. And you can get to ask your questions, discuss with our speakers, and have them interact with you directly. So don't miss out. Join us for this amazing event.